Greetings. Welcome, everybody, to the Remix Morning Show, is really what I was about to say. Then I said, wait a second. It's 7 o'clock at night. And it's definitely not the Remix Morning Show. It is the Burn It Down with Kim Brown program. This is my shit over here. This is what we do over here. I'd like to welcome y'all over here. It's Tuesday. It's the Tuesday edition of this over here program. I appreciate the handful of y'all who have made the time to come join us. You know, we're going streaking. There's more coming. One of my favorite movies. You guys know I have a weakness for Will Ferrell classics, and I know. Think of me what you will, but guess what? I do not care. I am quite the fan of Mr. Ferrell out here. Uh-oh. I hope you guys are seeing me. For some reason, this stupid thing has just told me that something is wrong on the stupid thing. It said tap to reply. So hopefully to replay. So hopefully, whoop, oh, there's a commercial. Hyundai, no less. Uh-oh. What's up, YouTube? I ain't getting my proper Hyundai cut. What's going on? Oh, there we go. We on there. Want my Hyundai cut though, YouTube. Fuck. Anyway. And then the chat's being goofy. So I don't know what's going on over here, y'all. Hopefully you guys won't be sending me too many important messages because at the moment they are inaccessible. But I digress. I'd like to welcome you all to the program. Please join us. Get comfortable. Cannabis this is a very 420 friendly space. Alcohol frowned upon but allowed for those that are old enough to consume, and more importantly, for those that can hold their liquor. If you can't hold your liquor, get the fuck out because we don't need no drama. I don't want no problems. I don't like getting into it with drunk people. It's a very maddening thing. So anyway, here I am rambling. You guys, maybe because I'm trying to distract myself from today's topics, and I know, that this is the reason some of y'all don't come back because y'all be like, Kim, enough already. No, y'all, I cannot say enough until the world says enough with what they put us through. And tonight I have a tale of two stories. um People's ability to be in their homes and how police respond differently to different races of people when they have encounters with them, even in their domicile. And I know y'all like, Kim, this is nothing new. It isn't. But I think there are bits of learning and enlightenment that we still can take away from these tragic situations, that most importantly, like when I say go tell to others, that's not just some shit I say, that's some shit I mean. You know what I mean? Like, we actually have to be the ones out here proselytizing, preaching to, evangelizing, if we will, to our folks. In this specific instance of the first story I'm going to talk about why you don't frivolously call the police on Black people, okay? Because it could literally be a life or death situation for whatever perceived trivial reason that you think you're going to get the police involved, because I'm going to show them now. I'm going to get that motherfucker now. Talk to these police. Well, sometimes the cops come in blaming, okay? And people don't get a chance to explain themselves. And such was the case here in Prince George's County with the story that we've been following pertaining to 31-year-old Melvin Jay, who was murdered in his own home by Prince George's County police this year. And the cops have finally released the body cam. And guys, there's a lesson here that I also want us to take away from propaganda and how to recognize it. And again, how to tell our folks, don't be falling for this shit just because the police chief is Black, just because the county executive is Black, just because the mayor is Black. Don't mean shit just because the cop was Black. The victim was also Black. So anyway, but my second story is coming out of Kansas City, Missouri. Right outside of Kansas City, from Independence. I've actually eaten in Independence, Missouri. Delicious barbecue. Absolutely outstanding barbecue. Jeez. This story in Missouri features a white man who was being forcibly evicted from his home. And when the police showed up, the white man started blaming on the police. And the white man survived. When I heard the story, sight unseen of the perpetrator. And I heard that somebody getting forcibly evicted from their home opened fire on police and another county employee who we'll get into. And the person, the alleged shooter, survived the encounter. I said, "Oh, he must have been white." I said, "There's no way a black man would have shot at the cops and lived to tell the tale." And y'all, I was fucking right. Of course, the white man shot three cops, killed one, killed a process server, and was taken into custody alive and well. And beyond that, he was even given a fucking bond, y'all. Only in America. I cannot make this shit up. So we're gonna get into these stories. Let me see if I can refresh this app because the app is not apping at a, at a high level at the moment. But in the interim, while I'm getting this refreshed, what I want to do, I want to thank all of our supporters, everyone that participated in our winter fundraising drive. Oh, we got about halfway to our goal. I'm going to confess, we didn't exactly hit our goal. But trust me, gang, I am not unappreciative. I am not ungrateful. Every little bit helps. And if you chipped in a little or a lot, I want to thank you. Like Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. Okay. And I know, shout out to Schultzy 100. Schultzy 100 went home and did his homework. Schultzy 100 got a little more negritude in his flavor. Shout out to Vespa X. I know Vespa X has been on the Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, but I want to thank you is one of Maze featuring Frankie Beverly's signature songs. So let me thank you. So do me a favor, stand when you hear your name called. To our new patrons, I would like to thank Benji B. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. I will also of course, I'm reading my own handwriting. What's up to Lauren R? Thank you so much for your support, Lauren. Thank you so much to Zermia. Thank you so much, Zermia F. Oh shit. Look and see, I'm making some of y'all feel guilty, and I appreciate your guilt. But Dawn, thank you, Donnie. Donnie, you don't feel guilty. Dawn, Afra, Zenzibel. Shout out to Ursula. Ursula's been one of our longtime supporters. The Johns, you know who you are. Patrick S. Like some of our longtime folk. James, like y'all been ride or die. What's up, Matt? Thank you for becoming a new patron. What's up to Shalonda G? Shalonda, we appreciate your support here on the channel. And I'd like to thank Latif for his Cash App support as well. Thank you so much, Latif, and thank you so much for being a consistent supporter here. Thank you for modding our humble channel. Thank you so much to Cameron M for your generous PayPal. We certainly appreciate that. Thank you so much to Nicole W. Ursula, again, I'd like to thank you, baby girl. Armando W., you've been a consistent supporter here as well. Thank you so much to Dina D. Thank you so much to Adrienne for your Venmo support, guys. We appreciate everybody that has come through the joint. And shout out to Ronald H as well. Thank you so much, Ronald, for becoming a patron. Patreon.com/BIDWKB. Cash App, $ BIDWKB, Venmo at BIDWKB, and PayPal.me/ should I start wet begging again? When I started to beg, it kind of worked. But you guys understand we are here to support the thing. Thank you so much, Andre T. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Andre, come through, Big Dre. We appreciate that. So, anyway, guys, let me get into the show here. Do me a favor, engage with the content when you see it in the form of the clips, the shorts. Like, thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, chat, do whatever you want to. Burn it down with Kim Brown. We appreciate you here. So, let me get back to my home area, Prince George's County, Maryland, the DMV. Home to allegedly some of the wealthiest, bougiest that Black America has to offer. But please make no mistake, even within alleged wealth in a given area, there is still police violence. There is still class discrimination, And this incident took place in Suitland, Maryland, back in February, where police got a call of an alleged breaking and entering happening in an apartment complex. And the body cam video has just been released, okay? And what happened was Officer Braxton Shelton, sound like a black dude when you're going to hear him on the video here in a few moments, responded to the call. And you guys, from the time that Officer Shelton exited his police cruiser to the time that he made it inside the apartment, to the time that first of all, he walked into the fucking apartment with his gun drawn, okay? Breaking and entering was the call, not home invasion, breaking and entering. By the time Officer Shelton exited his vehicle, made it inside the apartment, and spoke words, gave commands to show hands to Melvin Jay. And by the time a bullet entered Melvin Jay's body, shot by Officer Shelton, 35 seconds passed, not even a full minute, not even 60 seconds transpired before this officer encountered a man with nothing in his hands who was not attacking him. Melvin J didn't even speak a word to the fucking cop. And the cop put a bullet in his face. In his face. So what are we about to see here? So here's what has happened. Officer Shelton is on a paid administrative duty. We know what that means. He's on paid vacation for shooting a member of the community. And what happens now in the state of Maryland when police murder citizens or people residents, let me not say citizens per se, but when the police murder residents, the Maryland's state's attorney's office takes over the investigation, right? So the police departments are not really allowed to investigate themselves when it comes to police murders anymore, right? I guess that's a good policy. I guess I don't really know. So it was the Maryland State's Attorney's Office that helped to facilitate the release of this body cam footage, but it was released through the Prince George's County Police Department, and it was released via YouTube, and it was released without a press conference. So the tape that we're about to see, this comes directly from the PG County YouTube channel. And I think it is important that we watch this because this is obviously propaganda, right? It's straight from the piggy's mouth. This is their story, okay? And there's a couple of things here that Police Chief Malik Aziz, or if strangely on the mainstream, on the local news channels, they call him Malik. And I know some Maliks do go by Malik, but it just sounds like white people mispronouncing the shit, right? But maybe he is Malik. I don't know. Malik Aziz is the police chief, and you're going to hear from him in this video. And there are a couple things here that I want you to notice. Number one, the police are going to frame this as, quote, an officer-involved shooting, right? That is part of the propaganda to sort of distance the officer's direct responsibility to the shooting. An officer wasn't involved. An officer is the reason. An officer was the one doing the shooting. The officer is the reason that the resident is dead. So let's be clear about that. Second of all, what you're not going to hear from Police Chief Aziz pertaining to Officer Shelton's actions, you're not going to hear the police chief say that Officer Shelton was not supposed to enter that house by himself. Police officers, when reporting or responding to reports of a breaking and entering, you're supposed to wait for backup. You're not supposed to run in nobody's fucking house by yourself, right? By yourself, ran in there by his goddamn self, which is why his scary ass was ready to shoot the first person that he saw, right? Because you didn't wait for backup. And there's other discrepancies and misframings that we're going to see in this video, but I want us. So I'm not playing the video completely unedited because there are some graphic parts. Okay, so I just want y'all to be clear about that. But you are, and again, I don't show this shit to y'all to freak you out or to traumatize you. Okay, I want you guys to understand the almost no time given to Black people to respond to confrontations from police. Okay, I can't understand how Black people are supposed to comply and process a very stressful situation and expected to make the quote right decision within 3 fucking seconds. And I'm horrified that a man in his home was immediately criminalized and was murdered before he ever posed a threat to the officer. And the way that the cops treated him after he had been shot, because the second clip that we're going to see that's part of this, while Melvin Jay, suffering from a gunshot blast to the face by this cop who only gave him literally no seconds to respond. I wish I was being hyperbolic here. I'm not. They start to go through his pockets. The cops do. You're going to see this. They start to go through his pockets. And I want you to notice the absolute glee that the cop reacts. The response that he gives when he finds a gun in Melvin Jay's pocket. Pocket. Not in his hand, not in his waistband, in his fucking pocket. And I want to reiterate again, Melvin Jay was in his house. He had every right to be armed. Okay? He had every right, every constitutional fucking right to have a gun on him in his house. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all. Content warnings, trigger warnings, police brutality, police violence. You guys, I want to talk about this because I want people to get pissed off about this. I want people to understand that Black people don't have a right to safety in their houses from cops for any reason, under any circumstances. It's insane. And the other thing I wanted to take away from this is that we're going to hear the reason why the cops were even called in the first place. And that pertains to another issue that we discuss here on this platform. Why you shouldn't call the fucking cops to you, to anybody that you love, unless you have a death wish for them. Especially if they're Black, especially if they're male. So anyway, let me simmer down and get fired right back up after we watch this shiny turd of propaganda published by the Prince George's County of Police. And here is the police chief after this intro, this primer of propaganda before the rest of the propaganda gets started. Will, let's take a look.
On February 1st, 2024, a Prince George's County Police patrol officer was involved in a fatal shooting inside of a Suitland apartment. The officer had been the first to arrive on the scene of a reported breaking and entering in progress. 31-year-old Melvin Jay was killed in the incident. The Maryland Attorney General's Independent Investigations Division is leading the investigation into the shooting, and today, that agency released the officer's body-worn camera video. In an effort to communicate directly with the residents of Prince George's County, Police Chief Malik Aziz is sharing this video, which offers additional information regarding the shooting.
I would like to start by thanking you for taking the time to watch this video, which contains 3 elements: the 911 call for help, the dispatcher's communication with the responding officer, and the officer's body-worn camera video. We start with the 911 call from the apartment leaseholder, who tells the call taker a neighbor just alerted him that an unknown male was breaking into his home at that moment.
Prince George's County 911 Center. What is the location of your emergency? You said DC?
Maryland.
All right. Repeat the address for verification. Is that a house or an apartment, sir?
Apartment. I got somebody breaking and entering in my house. They taking out my house right now.
Are you at this location?
No, I'm inside the firehouse getting taken care of. I just got a phone call. I
Okay.
need the police there right now. They breaking in my house. Yeah.
Do you know who this is? Can you see who the person is?
No, I can't. I'm in the firehouse. My neighbors just called me.
All right. What's your phone number,
What
sir?
kind of floors in this?
And your name? And your neighbor said someone was going into your residence. Where were they going in at?
Yes. I don't know. They right there now. They breaking in my house right now.
Yeah, they didn't tell you what the person looked like?
They say he got dreads or something. I don't know. They say he's taking out my house. I'm about to shoot right there right now. I'm literally right here at the firehouse. My face was busted open. So I'm getting my face taken care of. I'm about to shoot right there right now.
All right, I'll send one over
You
there.
said I got sprayed or something.
All right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Henry 3, Henry 7, possible 86. A caller saying he's being told by the neighbor that someone's breaking into his apartment, 1034. Caller's not on scene right now, 3H3. 3, Henry 7.
Have him in the complex. Hold me up.
Henry 5, 10-4.
Stay unit again.
You heard the dispatcher advise the officer, no 1034, which is our code for a description. In this case, no description of a possible suspect. We will now share the body-worn camera video, which begins with the uniformed patrol officer's arrival. The officer enters the apartment's front door, which is ajar, and immediately sees a man inside. The officer is heard giving the man repeated, loud and clear, verbal commands to show his hands. The man is then seen moving toward a kitchen sink prior to the shooting. Please note this video is difficult to watch and contains explicit language.
Hey, Will, do me a favor. Pause this real quick.
Hold me up.
Just pause it. I just want to add something real quick. So what I want you guys to do, you don't have to put me, it's fine. Well, anyway, I'm reading your guys' comments in the chat. And again, y'all, I understand. I understand. Make no mistake, I understand. But people think that we are lying out here. People think that so long, well, why didn't you just comply? Fuck, I only had 3 fucking seconds. Can I have 10 seconds? Can I have 20? Can I have 30 fucking seconds? Can I have a minute to fucking process the information? But what I want you guys to do is count, okay? Because I already told you, from the time that this cop, Officer Braxton Shelton, by the time he leaves his cruiser that we're seeing right here, to the time he opens fire on Melvin Jay is going to only be 35 seconds, understand? But from the point that he hits the door, which is going to be open, by the way, the door is ajar, I want y'all to count how many seconds. As soon as he says, let me see your hands, count how many seconds Melvin Jay had to react. Pick it up, Will. Thank you.
Henry 5, 10-4.
What's that unit again? Oh.
Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Bring your ass over here. Show me your motherfucking hands. Show me your... Shots fired. Hey, so I got one down. Shots fired. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Who are you? Who are you? Visitor. Get up. Come over here. Come show me your hands. In the apartment. Roll them. Roll them. You're on the ground. Do you live here? Do you live here?
No.
Why are you in here?
That's my cousin's house.
Who is he?
That's my brother.
Yeah, shots fired. Stop me. Stop me. Stop. Roll EMS. I got one down. I got another one laying on the ground. Stop me. Yo! I'm okay. I need to render aid, but I can't clear the apartment. Stop me, son.
And you can't clear the apartment because your dumbass was not supposed to go in there by your dumbass self.
He ran in here. He ran from me when he grabbed something. Look at his face. Ah! Come on, man. First. Come here. His face. That's it. What do you need? I like it just the face right there. Huh?
Yeah, we just want to get fire for it. Okay. Because it's in his face.
You guys need a chest seal? Nah, no chest seal. It's like it's in his face. Face only.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to clear the rest of it.
Yeah.
I clear. You can double check. Come on, man. Stay with me. Come on. Yeah, good post. Come on, man. Stay with me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Sorry, it's one step? The suspension shutter came out.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good, eh?
Okay, step back. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
In addition to the gun in Mr. Jay's jacket pocket, a second gun was located in the kitchen sink next to where the shooting occurred. Since the shooting, the Prince George's County Police Department has identified the man who took the items from the apartment that day. He is a family member of the 911 caller. The investigation revealed that family member informed the 911 caller he was coming over to take the caller's property. This fact was not shared on the 911 call for help. The 911 caller also did not inform the 911 call taker that the two men he knew, to include Mr. Jay, were in his apartment when he left approximately 25 minutes earlier. This agency is fully cooperating with the Maryland Attorney General's Independent Investigations Division, which is leading this investigation. We appreciate their effort. Again, thank you for taking time to watch this video.
And to be clear, if you were a member of the media trying to get answers from the Prince George's County Police Department about this shooting, this video is all you got. Police Chief Malik Aziz has not taken questions about this incident, and they released this video instead of giving a press conference where, you know, people could ask questions. No, go to the YouTube channel, because ain't no accountability or no responsiveness to the public coming from the police. I think that is very disgusting and cowardly on behalf of the Prince George's County Police Department, but not halfway as disgusting and cowardly as the actions of Officer Shelton there. Because as you heard, you know, we did cut out some of the video because it was terrible and graphic. But when the other officers arrived, you heard the shooting officer lie. Oh, he ran. He didn't fucking run. Melvin Jay walked. In fact, he was walking slowly. I don't see how Officer Shelton could have mistaken Melvin slow walking to the kitchen as running. And to be clear, I counted 5 seconds from the time that the officer hit the door and said, "Show me your hands," from the time until that bullet was fired by that cop into Melvin Jay's body. I counted 5 seconds. You get 5 seconds to respond. You get 5 seconds to comply or literally die. Did you guys hear the exclamations of glee when the cop found the gun in Melvin Jay's pocket? In his pocket. He had to literally rifle through this man's pocket before he retrieved a gun. And as he was clearing the chamber, he was like, "Yeah, buddy. Yup. There goes my justification for my shooting now. There goes my justification for using deadly force," because he had a gun on him, not in his hand. Because not once during that body cam video do you hear any of the responding officers or EMS personnel say, "Hey, there's a gun in his hand," or "He dropped the gun over there." No, these motherfuckers had to go through this man's pockets and through his possessions to find this gun. So it is very clear that Melvin Jay, despite the fact that he was armed in his own house, which he is constitutionally allowed to do. I know he's black, but you know, if we interpret the Constitution as to mean all persons, he's supposed to have the right to bear arms in his house. And that responding officer had no idea that Melvin Jay had a gun in his pocket. But because Melvin Jay didn't put his hands up in 5 fucking seconds, he got a bullet to the face. And the officer himself, again, did not use proper protocol. You're not supposed to enter a residence on a breaking and entering call by yourself. That's not my rule. That's the cops' rules. So I guess this is another reason why PG County, state of Maryland, federal government is going to use to continue to bolster the budgets of police departments, because their officers need better fucking training, right? Because the training that these that these stupid shits get is not enough for them to remember that in the moment, because it was so important that this man entered the apartment based off a breaking and entering call, not a home invasion call, not a hostage call, not a barricade situation, not somebody actually being accused of violence, or even in the 911 call, there was no mention of any arms. So why did this cop come in here all fucking hot and fast for breaking and entering? And the whole time through this propaganda shit, this tape produced by the Prince George's County Police Department, all I heard is deflection. All I heard is that the reason that Melvin Jay is dead is because of other people's actions, not because of the actions of the officer. It's Melvin Jay's fault because he didn't comply within 5 seconds. It's the 911 caller's fault because the 911 caller didn't articulate that there were people in the home, that he was aware people were in the home, but he still called the police. Ultimately, this is a failure of policing. Could the 911 caller made a better decision? I'm not sure even if what the police are asserting here is true or accurate. And the reason why I'm not clear on that is because police lie. They lie, especially when it's one of them in trouble. They gonna lie. They gonna massage the story. They gonna fabricate the story. They gonna omit. They gonna include. They gonna, do some manipulation of the story so it fits their narrative. So that's a convenient narrative that, the family members got into it basically. And the one family member sent the police over there. But ultimately, it was the officer's hot-headedness, his failure to adhere to protocol, and his outright disregard and disrespect for the life of Melvin Jay, that Melvin Jay couldn't even been given 30 seconds to comply. He couldn't have been given 60 seconds to comply. And on this platform, y'all, not the first time that we've seen police responded to a 911 call and they come in hot, guns drawn, and they don't take the time to assess the situation. And it's usually a person that looks like us, a Black person. We've seen this happen to Black women as well. It's usually a Black person that somehow ends up dead in their house, not doing nothing wrong. Like, this shit continues to, it continues to boil my blood. I'm not baffled by it. I'm not astounded by it. Like, I'm literally incandescent with rage, a phrase I have not used in a while. But it makes me want to, like, I am burning white hot with rage. I could melt down with how angry I am. So I want y'all to see how the propaganda is reinforced in the local media, okay? Like, please don't think that DC, its former moniker being Chocolate City, it's not Chocolate City anymore. I think the whites have hit that 51% tipping point or something crazy. It's not as black as it used to be around here, okay? And not to say that even when DC was bliggity black, that the media was taking a critical lens or a critical approach to policing locally in this area. But just for further reinforcement, because now you all have seen the body cam, right? Now you all know the circumstances under which Melvin Jay was murdered. Now you all know how much time had passed from when Officer Braxton Shelton first said, "Put up your hands," to the time that Melvin Jay got a bullet to the face. You all know this now. So I want y'all to juxtapose what you just saw and just witnessed with what the characterization of what transpired there, how this is again being framed to paint the victim here as the reason, as the blame, as the cause for his own death. Like it's his fault he's dead. It's not the police was just policing. If he'd have just listened, if he'd adjust. And watch this fucking wayward ass nigga that's about to push this shit. We're gonna pick this up in the middle of NBC for Washington's Derek Bell, who's reporting I usually like. I was very disappointed in Derek Bell's fucking reporting on this one. I said, Jesus, Derek Bell. The fuck is this? So anyway, we're going to pick this up in the middle of the package. So we'll run this, please. Thank you.
Really quick. It's an unfortunate situation.
Dwayne Stanton is a retired D.C. police detective and now works as a consultant. He has over 40 years of law enforcement experience.
I've watched the video half a dozen times at least.
He tells us while the officer didn't shout police, he was clearly in uniform.
And the officer was clear. And he said, show me your hands. And he said it 3 or 4 times in a loud, convincing way.
He says that was a point at which the encounter could have gone in a totally different direction.
And I say this all the time. One thing that's important is compliance. If you have compliance, there's no misinterpretation.
Clear communication in the tensest of situations. There are verbal messages, and messages can be sent through movement, through the reaching of a hand.
And then lo and behold, he has a firearm in his pocket, and there's a firearm in the sink, and it actually looks like the subject was headed toward the sink.
Stanton notes that there are still lots of unknowns, context to be applied to the video, like the relationship among the 911 caller who lived in the apartment, Melvin Jay, who was shot, and a second man police found in the apartment.
Do you live here?
No.
Why are you in here?
This my cousin's house.
Who is he?
That's my brother.
A short time later, officers arrive at the apartment. First aid was rendered to Melvin Jay, but he was pronounced dead on the scene. An encounter that took seconds to unfold will take a lot longer to sort out. As for the compliance issue, well, each encounter is different. Training can't foresee every variable. Stanton has been on both sides of the equation. He's had officers order him to show his hands.
I was involved in a similar situation myself, and I do know that, well, let me put it this way, chances are better if you comply.
Officer Shelton is on administrative leave. The Maryland State's Attorney's Office is investigating, and attorneys representing Melvin Jay's family say they're also investigating the incident. Derek Ward, News 4.
Prince George's County Police.
So Melvin Jay's family, I believe, has retained the law firm Murphy, Falcon and Murphy. Billy Murphy is a very famous. Is it rude to call Billy Murphy like the Benjamin Crump of Baltimore? It might be accurate, actually. So anyway, the Ben Crump of Baltimore, before Ben Crump was Ben Crump, Billy Murphy's law firm is going to be representing Melvin Jay, the family of Melvin Jay. Just for context, it was the Billy Murphy's law firm who represented the man who was murdered by PG County Police, the man who was seat belted and handcuffed in a police cruiser who was in police custody. And this man ended up shot 6 times by PG County cop Michael Owen. And Michael Owen was acquitted of those charges in Prince George's County by a jury. It's just, let me circle back here. For that black cop, that retired cop, to go on about compliance, there are countless videos of white folks armed, belligerent, not complying, combative, hostile, running, charging, fighting, blamming. I mean, run the table of aggressive behaviors that a cop could perceive as a threat to their life. And it's a miracle. It's the miracle of whiteness, baby. It must be the white that gives them the protection, baby. They call it the complexion for the protection for a reason. The whites end up uninjured. They end up with the ability to go to jail, to face trial, to due process. The white assailants get to do all of those things, and they don't die. They don't end up dead. And when this happens in a black county, when it's a black cop killing black kids in Johannesburg, right? When it's a black cop coming in hot, shooting after 5 seconds of his arrival. That is more reason for us to loud it up, right? Because while all the players are black, the victim is black, the perpetrator cop, the killer cop is black, the police chief is black, all of the elected officials are black. This is all more reason to be screaming about this and demanding whatever accountability looks like. And from my perspective, from the limitations of what pursuing justice actually means in a colony for colonized people, this cop, you have to go down. And I'm concerned that, number one, no charges will be forthcoming. I'm concerned that there's not going to be an outcome to this situation for another 4 years, right? This is good. Like when it comes to cops killing people, this shit tends to get dragged out for years and years and years. The investigation has to play out. Whether or not the cop is disciplined by the police department plays a part. Whether or not the county, or in this case, the state's attorney general's office, decides to pursue charges. Again, this is a lengthy process. And this is what these police departments and these prosecutors, honestly, they depend on people memory holding these kinds of incidents. Like, oh, damn, they still ain't got that person convicted or charged or nothing. What's going on with that story containing that man who got shot in the face by the cop? Oh, man, like, people forget about the shit. And this is what folks like Police Chief Aziz and the state's attorney's office is what they count on. Like, they drag out the process so the rage goes away, so the furor dies down. But I'm not even sure where the furor is at, where the fury is at in this community. And I'm not saying that I'm the only one mad out here. I doubt that very, very highly. But I don't think a lot of people know what happened to Melvin Jay. To my awareness and knowledge, and again, if I'm incorrect about this, I am absolutely here for correction. To my awareness, there haven't been any protests. There hasn't been any demonstrations against PG County Police for Melvin's murder that I'm aware of. I know his family has had vigils, etc., and his family has actually taken a low-key approach. I haven't seen any of his family members on TV. I think I heard a phone interview with reporter Shamari Stone, but I haven't. They are not being public. And not to say that they have to perform grief and outrage in order to get justice, but fuck, unfortunately, sometimes in this system, that helps for the wheels, that helps to put pressure, public pressure, which can turn into political pressure on these entities to get a fucking move on. Let's get these charges brought against Braxton Shelton. That's manslaughter all day, at least. And it's not involuntary manslaughter. You gave this man 5 seconds, 5 fucking seconds. He had nothing in his hands. He wasn't threatening you. There's no way you could have perceived a threat to your life. You couldn't, based off 5 seconds of surmising the situation, which it's impossible to do in 5 seconds. It was clear that Melvin Jay was not breaking and entering. He didn't have nothing in his hands. He wasn't running out the apartment with flat screen TVs and shit, right? But had the cop literally taken 10 extra seconds to ascertain and get a more complete picture of the situation, instead of being a little soft as scrotum skin, pussy ass cop out here running into a B&E call with your gun drawn? Why are you so scary? Melvin Jay might be alive. 10 seconds, y'all. 10 extra fucking seconds. And this man may not have lost his life. So I wanted to update you on the story in Maryland. I keep telling y'all, not as progressive as advertised around here. Very much Democrat, law and order. You niggas better get in line. Y'all better comply or die, per the retired DC detective who had a situation happen to him the same way. And you motherfuckers are just content to accept this shit forever and ever. That's just the fact of life for black people. You better comply or die, 5 seconds or less. Meanwhile, the whites, oh, my next story, we shall get to the whites. Different rules. Let me take a little pause here for the cause. I would like to thank everybody who has made the time to come kick it with your homie. I thank everybody that participated in our winter fundraiser once again. I got some reminders here. So I believe, I don't know if Anna and Mama Lorraine and Abby are in the building, but even if they aren't, let me tell you, our Around the Fire Disability Support Chats this Saturday. We have it every second Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Figure out the rest of your time zones and figure out how that applies to you in your specific area, geographical location. We have had a number of really great conversations. It's a really good place for a sounding board for people who are either experiencing disability or you're experiencing it sort of vicariously as a caregiver or as someone that has proximity to a disabled person. Chronic illness, physical disability, like mental health issue, like bring them all to the table. It's a very safe space. I'm deeply appreciative to Anna, Mama Lorraine, and Abby for the true empathetic and compassionate way in which they approach this. These women really love the members of this community, and it shows in the real dedication and care they put to assembling this chat every month. So join us this Saturday. God damn it, girls. What's the Saturday? What's the date? Monday the 11th, Sunday the 10th, Saturday the 9th. So join us Saturday the 9th. I will post the links to our community section here and to patreon.com/BIDWKB. Join us, please. And thank you. Also, on 3/11, I'm so glad this next thing I'm gonna tell you about lands on 3/11, because how else would I remember it? not the cat, but 3/11 is one of my bands, right? Like I've been to 3/11, I've been to a number of 3/11 concerts in my day. So March 11th, 3/11 means something. So anyway, March 11th, come to hang out with me and Piper Carter on the Breaking Barriers podcast on the Black Power Media. I am really excited to be joining Piper Carter. I was very eagerly anticipating my invite. I I am a little what's the word I'm trying to find here? I don't because y'all gonna think I'm taking shots and I'm not. I don't broadcast my thirst. It's like I I be thirsty on the inside for invites. I don't tell everybody that I ain't been invited yet. And that's no diss, that to be clear. I know some of y'all gonna be, and guess what Kim said? Anyway, y'all slow down out there, thunder thumbs. Y'all want to run tell that. But no, so join us Monday, 3/11, on Black Power Media for the Breaking Barriers podcast. Piper Carter, Kim Brown. I'm so excited about that. And also, real quick, let me say this. I did watch the Black Myths podcast for the critique Black Power Media. I thought it was very fair. I thought it was honest. I thought it was insightful. I only caught a couple of slight inaccuracies. Nothing for me to get nothing for me to get excited about, but it was just small things. The comments that I appreciated, I believe the sister's name is Cameron. I think she said, for clarity, she was like, this is not the tea. This ain't the piping hot tea that some people are going to think this is. This is, I'm paraphrasing, like an anticipatory critique of potentially what could happen and what has happened to organizations or groups historically that haven't laid out, let's say, these definitions and these objectives and these goals and structures. I appreciated the structure references to the structures in place to address, conflicts, internal conflicts, external conflicts. I thought it was honest, and most importantly, I didn't hear my name, so I was happy. I'm sorry. And listen, I'm sure the only reason I did not hear my name is because my show is not on Black Power Media, right? So And to be clear, I appreciate critiques. But on some real, I don't go seek them joints out. Like I don't like people, and this is not specific to what we're talking about here, but this is a general statement. Like people who search, let me see what. Let me go to Twitter and type in Kim Brown and see what the people are talking about. Who the fuck cares? Like, why would you want to subject yourself to other people's opinions? And that's just my personal thing. I don't seek out critiques. If I encounter them organically, cool. But like for me, other people's opinions about me is their business. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was listening out from my name. I didn't hear it. So I was glad. So anyway, I know that's shitty of me. Let me tighten up. But anyway, I thought it was worth watching. I thought it was fair. And I will go back and watch Saturdays with Renee, because I know it got brought up on Saturdays with Renee and Jared. And I know Black Myths, either two black and crew, or was it just two black who showed up on Renee Saturdays with Renee? Regardless, I'm gonna go check that out as well. So I think it'd be all very useful. Yo, thank you so much, Arlene Chambers, for your super chat support, beloved Lord. It's in this orange. let me get to this. Let's see what we say here, baby girl. You said comrades, don't call the police. That is correct. They will assassinate you. Oh shit, I just left the goddamn comment. They will assassinate your people out here. They will assassinate us for absolutely nothing. That is correct, Arlene. People cannot be playing games with this shit, man. Like, well, I'm a cop. Tamika, please don't call the police on Daquan. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not the same as it's not going to be received the same as when Jack and Diane, a little ditty about Jack and Diane. When Jack and Diane get to squabbling and the police show up, the cops just say, Jackie, we this our third time out here, Jackie. You can't keep going upside. But no. When you call the police on Daquan, when Tamika called the police, the police is coming with a whole nother energy, baby. We cannot afford to play those games. Lateef, thank you so much for your super chat support. Oh shit, you wrote a paragraph. Let's see. You said less than 6 minutes, and we got a white woman. We got white woman walks into a police station. That's right, into a police precinct. And the dispatcher, and discharged her purse concealed firearm into the custody, and was taken into custody unharmed. Thank you, Lateef, for that. I do remember that story vaguely, when the white woman walked into the cop station, grabbed her purse out, her gun, and just started letting off. Bagow. You get some, piggy. And they said, ma'am, ma'am, stop shooting, ma'am. And she got taken into custody, very much alive, very much unshot, if I'm not mistaken. It's just amazing how that works. Whites, how do you do it? Is the white skin bulletproof? No, I know what the fuck it is. Cops are not trained to shoot white people. When they talk about they need better training, I guess that means they need better marksmanship when it comes to shooting black folks and brown folks, right? Because somehow the violent whites don't seem to get shot. And I can only assume this is how police are trained. They're not trained to shoot white people. So that concept is foreign to them. They're like, what you mean? You want me to shoot? You want me to shoot this guy? You want me to shoot this guy? That guy looked like my brother-in-law. I can't shoot him. The fuck? So speaking of contrasting treatment, do me a favor, everybody. Like the video. Thumbs up. Subscribe to Burn It Down with Kim Brown. You can support us and follow us different places around the internet. BIDWKB. So the story that came out of the Kansas City area on the Missouri side in recent weeks involves another incident of something that we have been covering here on Burn It Down with Kim Brown. And that is the nationwide issue of evictions and people being forcibly removed from their homes by police. And sometimes those confrontations have turned violent, right? Such was the case in Independence, Missouri, where Larry, what is this man's name? Acree, 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 Larry Acree, 69 years old, had lived in his Independence, Missouri home for over 20 years. Over those years, according to the Kansas City Star. We'll pop that article up for me if you could. Larry Acree had lived this Independence, Missouri home for a long time. He had a number of tax liens filed against him by the Missouri Department of Revenue, the tax niggas, right? For over a year, authorities in Jackson County had made notice to Larry that because he owed now $28,000 in back property taxes, that they would be coming to remove him from his property. They were coming to evict him. They had left numerous notices on his door. Okay. And when the Jackson County process server, oh man, Drexel Mack, I believe is his name. I don't think it's Dexter. I think it was Drexel Mack. He was the Jackson County process server. He was a black man. He showed up to Larry Acree's home along with some Independence, Missouri police officers. And when Larry Acree saw that the Jackson County process server and the Independence police had entered his home and were trying to evict him, he opened fire, killing Mr. Mack and killing an Independence police officer by the name of Cody Allen. 2 other officers from Independence, Missouri were also shot. The first place we're going to go is to the press conference from the Jackson County prosecutor's office. And I want you guys to notice a couple of things. So far online, I have not found any pictures of Larry Acree, right? And initially, I was a bit confused when I saw pictures. Well, can you pop up a picture or pop up the article or pick something to pop up? But whatever you get your hands on is fine. I do want to show you the photos of the people that I'm talking about here. But one photo that has remained conspicuously absent so far from the internet is the picture of the suspect, Larry Acree. And the only reason I know Larry Acree is a white man is for 2 reasons. For one, when the reports came in that a homeowner facing eviction shot three cops, killed one, killed another person, and this person themselves was taken alive, I said, only a white, only a white, only a white. Juxtaposed especially with the story we just told you about Melvin Jay in Prince George's County. This man shot in his own home for not complying within 5 seconds. But the white man in Missouri shoot 3 cops and taken alive. Will, can we get a picture or article, my good man? Okay, I don't care. Can you pick one? Because I would like to have some accompanying visuals so I can be descriptive with my story. There we go. All right. So there we go. That's the story from the Kansas City Star. The man has been charged in the fatal shooting during an eviction in the Kansas City area. Was a recluse, neighbors say. Yeah, the neighbors have got some stories a bit about Larry Acree, again, 69-year-old white man. And again, how'd I know he was white? Because he shot 3 cops and lived to tell the tale. But also the Jackson County prosecutor said he was white in her press conference, which we're about to hear clips from. So, Will, let's go ahead and actually hear from the Jackson County prosecutor who has charged 69-year-old Larry Acree with 2 counts of first-degree murder and a slew of other charges as it relates to the shooting injuries of at least 2 other officers. But I want y'all to pay attention to the kicker, because there's some kickers in this press conference, and they're gonna come pretty quick. And one of the kickers, I'm such a bad spoiler person. Spoiler alert. The spoiler is that if Larry could put his hands on $2 million, Larry could get the fuck out of jail. He killed two people. Killed a cop. And he got a bond. Don't believe me? Listen to the prosecutor. Let's take a look.
Matter. The defendant's name in this case is Larry Acree. He is a white male whose last known residence was in Independence, Missouri. And he has been charged with multiple charges. As I get to that, I want to tell you that he's in custody on a $2 million bond. He's in a hospital at this moment, but he's expected to be transported to the Jackson County Detention Center as soon as he is able. Basically, what led us here is a year-long eviction process had been underway, a year long. And so we really started this process, or I should say the court process, on the notice to vacate. That process had been ongoing for some time. Drexel, who had been to that property before, of course, was there on February 29th to complete that service of process and to actually evict Mr. Akee from the property. Of course, they took multiple steps to make sure that that property was secured and safe to go into. They knocked and announced their presence. Of course, there had been previous notice on the property, and they did receive no answer at the front door and no indication that anybody was in the residence. Because of that, then they proceeded to remove the locks. So they were there for a time, having those locks cut and drilled out so that they could enter. But as Drexel and others were entering to the front door of the residence, he was met with gunfire, and he was immediately fell to the, my understanding is right at that front door of the residence. And that is where additional officers then quickly responded to the scene. Those were the Independence police officers. And as officers do, they were attempting to save Mr. Mack's life by removing him from the property to get him medical care, when they were met with gunfire as well. And as you know, that resulted in the loss of one other officer's life and other officers shot.
So, Will, if you could, can you put up the picture of the officer and Drexel Mack? My apologies if I misstated his name. Drexel Mack was a Jackson County process server. The black gentleman was the process server there to serve the eviction. Officer Allen was there as backup support. They were both murdered, allegedly, here by 69-year-old Larry Acree. Drexel Mack, the black dude, 41, you guys, only 41 years old. And it sucks. I don't, of course, it's a tragedy. Let me be clear. Let me not say flippantly in any way that it sucks. It does suck, but it is a tragic loss for this man's family, and we definitely send our condolences. I hate that, we are living in a time of, high evictions. People are getting kicked out of their homes, kicked off their properties. And people are going to react hostilely and violently to that. I don't really think that the police should be involved when it comes to removing people with force or by force from their homes, regardless of the reason, that they are behind in their rent, behind their taxes. Doesn't matter. When you are literally displacing people and placing their material security, their daily needs and everything, when you're placing those things at risk or you're outright taking those things away from people, you can't expect people to respond peacefully, right? Like, I guess that is why the police, show up. But our society, and I guess our state, our government, like, we need to do better about keeping people housed, because it's truly a public safety issue, right? It's not just a safety issue, I suppose, for people who have to make those notifications and enforce that. It's definitely a safety issue for them. This is not the first time this has happened, and not even the first time we've covered it here on this platform, where people getting put out start blaming, right? But for the people that are losing their homes themselves, it is a public safety issue for them, because they are no longer safe when they are unhoused, right? And it's just sort of this callousness, this disposability of capitalism, this rugged individualism. Oh, well, you didn't pay your bill, well, I guess you failed at life, so we're just gonna throw you and all your shit out on the street. Your house is going to be empty for a while, nobody gonna live in it, but your ass definitely can't live in it, so get your shit. We got officers, the sheriff is here with his gun on you. It's bad. I mean, that's a bad system. That's a bad practice, bad protocol, which also leads to bad outcomes, right? But the other issue with this is clearly the way and the stark contrast in which Larry Acree, the white man who killed two people and shot two others, was taken into custody alive, guys. He's in the hospital. I wasn't exactly clear on the extent of his injuries, but he's in the hospital. But I think they anticipate him being released from the hospital soon. And they're going to take him to the Jackson County Detention Center. But did y'all hear the part where she said that Larry Acree has a $2 million bond? $2 million bond. Now, does Larry Acree have $2 million? No, because if he had $2 million, he'd have $28,000 to pay in taxes. But the point is, y'all, if he had $2 million, he could be the fuck out of jail. Do you see the two-tier system? Well, three-tier. There's two-tier for race, three-tier for class. If Larry was a wealthy white, he'd be at home chilling with two bodies on him while the other officers is in the hospital recovering. Larry would be in the house sipping cognac if he was a wealthy white. But the fact that he was a white is the reason he even had an option for a bond, okay? Let a black perpetrator, let a black shooter come out here and kill basically a public servant in the form of the Jackson County process server like Drexel Mack was, and let a black man or a black person outright murder the Independence, Missouri police officer Cody Allen. You think they giving him any kind of bond? 2 million, 10 million. You think the black man going to get a bond? Nope. Held without bond, remanded for trial. I mean, the privileges and the accordances in which white people who do demonstrably terrible and violent things, the level of grace and opportunity to redeem or be given a second chance. Well, if Larry had $2 million, he could go home and process the error of his ways. If only he had to. But Melvin Jay in PG County had 5 seconds to put his fucking hands up before he got a bullet to the face. Real quick about Larry Acree, the alleged man, and I say alleged, alleged, the guy who allegedly killed these two folks in Independence and shot two others. Kansas City Star did an interesting deep dive on him, and he has a history of violence. He has a number of protective orders filed against him by former spouses, former girlfriends. And, and Missouri has no red flag law, right? And when we ignore violent misogyny, right? when you or when authorities would look at Larry Acree's record and be like, oh, well, he's had a couple protective orders against him, but we should be fine if we go over there. Like, I seen him the one time, he talked all right, we don't take misogyny and domestic violence, specifically against women. We don't take that shit seriously enough. We don't take it as much of an indicator of someone's very violent personality, right? Because people look at it and assume like domestic situations are only exclusive to the intimate interactions between those two people. Not just right. Some of the most people that commit prolific acts of mass violence usually have violence against women in their background, right? And that's not something to ignore. I read this book called Men Who Hate Women by Laura Bates. I told y'all about this shit, right? Laura Bates is a British woman. Laura Bates read her people down. I said, you better go, white lady. You better talk about these violent white men out here. I appreciated the book. I did, because she was very honest. But one of the things that she revealed in the book is that a lot of these mass shooters, who come from the manosphere, and there is, different subsections of the manosphere, the men's rights activists and the pickup artists and the men who go their own way. Like, it's a lot of subsets of the manosphere, and a good many of them who committed, mass shootings in Toronto, Canada, committed mass shootings in Oregon, committed the one guy who committed that horrific mass shooting in Christchurch, New Zealand. They were all active in manospheric spaces promoting misogynist views and promoting violence against women, promoting rape even, right? But nobody pays attention to that. When these instances get reported, it's never he had a history of hating women. And that was a leading indicator to what he ended up doing violently to a lot of people, to a mass of people. Like, that doesn't get included. And it needs to be, right? And I would suggest to these cops, to these public servants, if you're coming to someone's house, if your job is to literally disrupt and turn upside down someone's life, someone's sense of security, you better be ready for that fucking action. And I mean that. Like, that ain't just me. I'm saying, leading based off anecdotal trends of people turning violent when they are getting evicted, or people responding to the violence of eviction. Let me say that better. People themselves responding to the violence of eviction, because the eviction itself is violence, right? So if people become violent, that's a response to the violence that they're experiencing, because their whole world is being displaced. They are being dispossessed of where they live. You better expect that shit. And you better do your research. And you better do your Googles. And you better take seriously accusations of domestic violence, incidents, provable, which Larry Acree has, right? According to court documents, there was pictures, photos, of, I believe, his fourth wife when she pursued an order of protection against him. I take seriously men who commit violence against women, and I perceive them as being violent, or the potential is there for them to be violent to everybody. So I did want to send condolences to Drexel Mack's family, even to the family of Officer Allen, because it sucks. I mean, it's bad. It's not good. But let me be clear. Like, America is not a democracy that I'm interested in protecting, that I'm interested in upholding, that I'm even interested in making better, because I don't see how you improve on a fucking colony. A colony is a colony, right? A colony has masters and subjects. And it is very clear that the intention of this colony going forward is to make sure that Black people and women and brown people and gay people and trans people and people who are migrants remain subservient to this system, right? And our lives are never going to be valued equally. But I'm not here to support a system that takes Larry Acree alive, takes him into custody alive, and Melvin Jay gets shot in the face in his own house with nothing in his hands. Like, I want that kind of system to fall the fuck down. Like, you deserve to fail. I want you to fail. I'm rooting for you to fail. You can call it unpatriotic. You can call it anarchy. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. But don't call me a fucking simp for this empire. Don't call me as a one. Don't you want to protect democracy? Bitch, I don't see the fucking democracy. I see it being meted out very specifically according to your race, class, gender, and gender identity, right? Your ethnic origin. All these things play too much of a factor in whether or not you will be treated humanely by the state. And I'm sorry, that's not a state that I want to continue to survive and exist and thrive. That's a state that needs to be burnt down, and we need to reform this society in the way that we know that it can be. We find ways for people to stay in their homes. We provide housing for folks. We don't come around with guns and tell people to get the fuck out the house, right? Like they're doing in Israel to the Palestinians. Oh, that's a thread we could tug on. But I'm gonna turn y'all loose for tonight. I appreciate you guys making the time to join us tonight. Please take the time to join us tomorrow morning on the Remix Morning Show. Oh, which got good marks. I thought from the critique. Didn't y'all think so? I didn't think they didn't let the chopper sing on the Remix Morning Show. I appreciated that. Like I said, I was listening out for my name. I'm listening for 2 whole hours. I'm waiting for them to say, and Kim dumbass, and I didn't hear it. I said, okay. I thought the critique was fine. I had no problems. I had no problems with the critique. I thought it was an excellent critique from Black Myths. Wonderful. Well done. Hello, niece. There goes Alicia. Thank you so much, Alicia. What's up, Holly? I want to say, who is that? Yipper99. What's going on? Always, big up to everybody. Big up to the comrades. Big up to the supporters. Big up to the mods. What's up to Latif and Courtney? Like I said, again, join us this Saturday for the Around the Fire Disability Support Chat. And join me Monday on Breaking Barriers with the Piper Carter podcast at PCP. We're going to have y'all all on it. Alizarine, thank you, baby. We appreciate your participation and your support. Valley Girls, what's up, girl? What they doing in Arizona? You ain't tell me that Clan Princess was running for Senate. Y'all ain't tell me another Clan Princess. They said Kirsten Sinema announced her retirement. This bitch did a term in the Senate. And left. Okay, cool. But the Clan Princess, Carrie Lake, Clan Princess. You seen her. You ain't tell me the Clan Princess was running for Senate. Valley Girls. Alizarine, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate that as always. As always. DJ Vesper X, I see you. Before I let go, lady. Oh, that's not Lady Alex. Oh, it's Lady Helly. Oh, Helly, thank you so much for staying up late, Helly. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. So, gang, thank you, Damian Stoner Learner. Damian, I know you're in here. I synced you. And they're Donnie and Alicia. Okay, I think I'm saying what's up to the same people. Arlene Chambers, thank you again. Thank you to everybody that supported us on the fundraiser. I'd like to thank Will and Molly for the outstanding work that they do week in and week out. Thank you guys so much. When you see the content, please try to engage with it. Jasmine, is that you? Thank you so much, Jasmine. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. You guys see the shorts, engage with them Jones, because the trolls be trying to it was sweary furry. The trolls be trying to capsize my content, and then YouTube be going along with the shit. I said, you know what? I don't like y'all. Not y'all. I don't like YouTube. So anyway, I'm gone. Y'all be safe out here. We will see y'all back here on Friday for Burn It Down Kim Brown, the Friday edition. Thanks to Will and Molly for all that they do. And thank you guys for all your support. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Toodles.